right, hey everyone, Andy here with RNA Landscaping. Today we got I got Brian here from Lawn Doctor to really help us answer some questions for you guys. So we got a lot of this. The same question on this is: should we get the lawn prepped before the lawn seeding gets in? We have a lot of questions like, well, if they're building a new home or whatever, that like, hey, well, the builders includes the final grade. From us and what from Brian would probably most likely say is there's a big difference between obviously getting a builder final grade compared to like what we would consider the final grade before we start seeding, right? So I wanted to bring Brian on here to kind of give us some advice, because obviously this is what this guy does. You do this all the time. So you're obviously the expert in this department rather than me. So Brian, give us some advice on this and what you think homeowners can do.
Okay, good question. Thanks for having me, Andy. So a common occurrence, we install, hundreds of new lawns in this area. I mean, we've been blessed in this area, Kalamazoo, and, in the South Bend, Mishawaka, Granger area with the growth and the new subdivisions being built and the new houses being built. But, usually, you spend and obviously make a big investment in building a home. And once the builder's done, they'll take their Bobcat, run it through, sweep it around even, and you're kind of left with a dirt. And now you got to contact your landscaper or contact me to get a lawn installed and get some landscaping put in and stuff like that. Well, it can, first off, let's start with, it can have a huge economic impact to make sure that you're doing these three things in order. One, you have Andy prep the lawn. Second, you have a company, Sanderson DeHaan, come in, put in your sprinkler system. Third, you have me come in and seed it. Or if you're seeding it yourself, those are the three steps in order. One, if you mess up with any of those steps, which we've had to deal with in the past, it's not life or death. So if you move into a house that the sprinkler system's already put in, but there's no lawn put in, okay? Don't be surprised if Andy or any other landscaper in the area tells you their cost is going to be triple to prep your yard. Okay, what I mean by prep is, a builder's finished grade doesn't usually include moving rocks or moving sticks, putting in topsoil, evening out the grade, taking care of ruts, taking care of tire tracks, taking care of debris in the yard. Could be nails in there. There could be leftover siding. There's all that stuff left there. Remember, I can come through. I seed a lot of lawns, and I seeded unprepped lawns, hundreds of them. Okay, but remember, by seeding unprepped lawn, if there's bumps or ruts in it, I'm going to get grass to grow there, but you're still going to have those bumps. You're still going to have those ruts. And a lot of people don't realize that at first, but once they start mowing the lawn and it's bumpy and it's, kicking up those areas and that grass isn't coming in good in those areas, it's because it wasn't prepped appropriately. So when I'm approaching a customer, I said, well, listen, where I seed your lawn, I can seed it like this, but I recommend you prep it, or you go through and you rake it yourself, which a lot of times it requires heavy equipment, not just a standard rake. You get all the rocks, all the debris, all the sticks out. And what you'll find out if you're hand raking it is that with a hand rake, you're going to find out, oh, you just pulled up more rocks, pulled up more debris, and pulled up more sticks.
Absolutely.
Professionals take care of it. If Andy comes in first, it's a good time to get your landscaping put in. Then, Sanderson DeHaan can come in behind and put in your sprinkler system. If you want special sprinklers put in for just your landscape, if you want certain things done, you're going to have a pool put in, stuff like that. All those things can be done, and then they can work around that, and it's more economical for you if we go in that. But if you want a nice, smooth lawn where you're mowing it, you're walking through barefoot, your kids are playing in it, and it's flat, and it's not bumpy, and it's even, then you should have Andy come in and prep it first. Have Sanderson put in your irrigation. Have me come in and use my patented power seeding to get it done.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because we get, obviously, I mean, me and you work together quite a bit on this kind of stuff, but it was funny, there's a new home being built, in our neighborhood right now, and I just watched the builder do their final grade. And it's like, I'm assuming the homeowner thinks that's their final grade. And just like Brian said here is, this thing has, tons of sticks in it, rocks and everything. Like this is not ready for grass seed yet. So, huge thing. So, and same with us, like if you can get us in early, and we do a lot of these lawn preps, with Brian and just other clients and everything too. But this is a great time to obviously get like your downspouts buried. If you want to get, if you have a downspout, get those buried, and I understand sometimes, by the time the new construction is done or whatever, the budgets, the landscaping budget's very small. But here's another perfect time right here too, right? Is to, just establish the size of the flower beds, right? I don't care. You don't have to put anything in them. Maybe just put edging, right?
Mm-hmm. Right.
Put edging in, because like what's going to happen with with Brian, if we don't establish any of these things, we're truly going to, we're just going to seed right up to the house. And that's what, Brian's going to do. And that's what he should do. But the problem is if you ever want to, a year from now or 2 years from now, you want to put in that flower bed, you got to take out all that grass, which is going to be a huge pain. Correct. And then another thing too is this is another opportunity. And I understand, like, yeah, you might pay for some sticks of edging to be put in, but you also, if we don't do it now, same thing with the irrigation company's going to come in and they're going to put the irrigation right up against the edges of the house. So now if we can still run those pieces of edging, they can keep it out of the flower beds and just, it's literally going to it's going to cost maybe a little bit more to put some of these few little extra things in, but it's going to save you money, a huge amount of money down the road. So you don't have to have the irrigation guy come move sprinkler heads and this and that. And so just like Brian's, that's very important to get it prepped properly, have the irrigation system installed, and then obviously have lawn doctor come in and seed it. So yeah, I think that's great advice, Brian, just to really give, obviously we do a lot of these together, and it's just like, another thing that we get a lot too is, which, we both get, is we get these new construction homes that have a ton of sand in them, right? And it's like a ton of sand, like the lot is sand.
Yep.
We were talking to these homeowners, we're trying to figure out like the best solution for them. Well, they, like the best solution is for us to bring in some topsoil, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, like they might not want to bring it in or this because topsoil is expensive.
Mm-hmm.
Topsoil is very expensive. And like, what do you recommend? 3-4 inches of topsoil, at least?
Yeah, it just depends. Every lawn's different. Like
it depends on how much sand, all these different variables, but.
Right. And you just, the thing you have to remember is you want to do it right the first time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once it's in, then it's in. Now, anything else you have to change or repair, now that's going to cost additional money and more money. Like if you get the fence put in, or Andy comes out and adds onto your landscaping, and he has to, if you're a retaining wall put in, and he has to use any heavy equipment, and damage the lawn on the way through, there's a good chance I'm going to have to come back and reseed and fix those areas, so a good plan of getting those things done early is important. And, the topsoil, have I heard that thousands of times where, you know what, I wish I would have spent that little extra money and got the topsoil put in. Topsoil, I will add, is a lot of people think of it for the essential nutrients it brings. I don't look at it from that regards as much as how much better it holds moisture. By putting topsoil down, you're going to get more value out of your water. That's what I like the most about it. Enough nutrients with soil conditioners and fertilizer and organic material to give the lawn what it needs to grow. But it's important with the topsoil, and it helps in a leveling process as well. To get things smoother for you. and build over top. Sometimes, Andy and I had a project last summer where, he had his guys out there 5 or 6 times. They just kept on pulling up more and more rocks after rocks after rocks after rocks, and you can solve that problem easy by just adding 3 or 4 inches of topsoil, covering that area up, and you never have to worry about it.
Absolutely. Well, like you said, obviously some sand is obviously like it's good for, you're always going to have like a little sand, obviously, in your whole topsoil blend, obviously. But, these lawns we get into, they're either, like you said, they're either a gravel pit.
Right, exactly.
Like I can't, like every time that machine goes in, we're going to literally just keep pulling more and rocks in. Like it just never ends. Do that. Like it's going to actually truly, you're either going to pay more money in labor or we should just put some more topsoil on it. Or, like these lawns that are extremely sandy, which, we get a few a year. It's like I always tell the customer, like grass doesn't grow at the beach,
Right.
So like you got to have some topsoil in there to like just kind of grow it. So I really appreciate it. What's that?
I'd like to add one more thing. With, a builder, you hired that builder because he has a reputation for building a good house.
Yeah.
That doesn't make him a good landscaper. I can tell you right now, if I'm out there seeding your lawn, you do not want to ask me to put on an addition to your house while I'm out there. I do not expert in that. It will be done poorly. Okay. So make sure that you just, use the experts for the right field that they're in. You got somebody to build your house. Don't depend on them to, to put down seed on your lawn and expect that you're going to have a beautiful lawn. Get a great looking lawn put in. It's not only you're going to appreciate it down the road, but when you're ready to sell, that's going to be the first thing somebody sees.
Absolutely. So, well, hey, Brian, I really appreciate you coming on today and really helping us answer some of these questions. So hopefully this is really helpful for everybody that's listening. If there's any other questions that we can answer for you guys, feel free to either, comment on our Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, send us an email, call us, whatever happens. If I can't answer it personally, we'll get Brian here again to help us answer. And thanks again. And thanks for everybody for listening today. So
thanks for having me, Andy. Have a good day.
Hey, you too. Have a good day, Brian.
Bye now.